Appleton Area School District. I am Healthy Chef Shelly Platten, and I am back here for another summer wellness cooking video. And today we are going to be making dinner on the deck. Whether you have a patio, a deck, yard area, does not matter. This is going to be called a dinner on the deck because it's worthy of it. It's easy, it's delicious. You can make the chicken on the grill. The salad can be put together and cook it on the stove real quick earlier in the day, actually, when it's cooler. It could be made night before. That's the nice thing about the salad. The chicken can be marinating during the day if you want to make this for a nighttime meal. So a nice, easy, fast dinner with all the great flavors of summer, using strawberries instead of tomatoes in your salsa. We got fresh herbs, we got asparagus, potatoes. This is just a great late spring, early summer meal. This is just a really fun dinner to put together and definitely enjoy when the weather is so nice. It's also a great meal to enjoy indoors because I had fun testing this one in winter, and we did the cooking, which we will do in this video, in a cast iron grill pan, and it also works just wonderfully that way. So without further ado, we are going to make a delicious, easy marinated chicken breast, and it is marinated in garlic, lime, and cilantro, and we're going to top it with a really quick put together salsa that has strawberries, cucumber, onion, avocado, more lime juice, and cilantro. Something you could just eat with chips on its own, but it's just absolutely fabulous with the very flavorful grilled chicken. We're also going to be doing a really nice salad, not just your average potato salad that's all gloppy and mayonnaise from the deli, but this is a potato salad that has a very kind of a deconstructed chunky pesto of sorts mixed with the potato and asparagus. And the nice thing is you can use green beans or asparagus, whichever you prefer or have on hand. And it's a nice green, herby, great salad to go along with the chicken. So very first thing we need to do to get going on this is we need to get our chicken marinating, because we definitely want that to have its time to develop some flavor. I would recommend you can marinate this up to about 3-4 hours. I wouldn't go definitely no longer than 6, because the acid in the marinade is going to start breaking down the chicken and making it slimy and almost cooked. So we don't want to do that. But for this video, I'm just going to be marinating it for like 15 minutes. But even then, it's going to get a really good boost of flavor. So let's get the rolling here. And just to kind of protect everything from the raw chicken, I'm going to put my pan down. And we're going to start with what needs to be the most important step in getting your chicken to grill nicely and evenly, or pan fry evenly. And this is a real easy, it just takes an extra minute of work, but this really is a trick that helps to get your chicken all one thickness, because chicken breasts tend to be really big on one side and then they kind of whoosh down to being really skinny on the other side, and then you just end up with, this is way overdone and this is still raw. I need a little drink of water here. So to solve that problem, I already pounded this ahead of time, but I'll show you how I do this. I'm going to put the chicken breast in a bag. Now this is just one chicken breast. You'll probably want to do this with, a couple of chicken breasts in a big Ziploc bag, like a gallon size one. But what I have here is just one chicken breast that we're going to do during the demo. And you put it into a Ziploc bag, and you take a meat mallet or tenderizer like this, boom, 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 and you just take all your aggressions out. This is a great way to get not only just a little extra anxiety out, but you can also get that chicken breast. You want it nice and flat. See, it's all just kind of the same thickness now. It isn't a big fat chicken breast going down into a little skinny flap on the side. This gets it all one-sided, or one size and one thickness, and it also helps the marinade really get into the fibers of the meat. So put that away. This has already been pounded nice and flat, and we're going to go ahead and get our marinade going. And we're going to have some just real key players of the flavor world here. We are going to, and I'm going to just check here, and I'm only doing one chicken breast, so I'm not doing like a huge amount here, so I'm going to cut the marinade down a little bit from what you have on your recipe. One chicken breast, I'm only going to make this about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We also can put some fresh pepper in here. We are going to have minced garlic, and I always emphasize it's not cheating. by having pre-cut, sliced, diced, minced veggies and things like fresh garlic because it tastes so great. We're going to put a nice generous clove worth of garlic in there. It's not cheating, absolutely never. All right, we have a lime here, and this is where you really get the lime flavor. Grab something to zest it with, like this is a microplaner. And it's going to collect the zest in the back, which is really handy dandy. And this is going to really, really boost that lime flavor. It's just going to give it this really, really nice kick in the pants, and it's not going to be just like a splash of lime juice out of a bottle. This zest is really going to build that flavor. So you can see the zest just stays right in the back of the microplaner. One of my very favorite kitchen tools. Tap, 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 get that in there. We also want to get the juice out of that lime, of course. So we're going to cut that in half and get that juice in there because the acid really not only flavors, but it also tenderizes. So we're giving a good squeeze of lime juice in there. Such a little flavor monster, just a little lime like this. And we're putting also in the salsa as well. A little bit more lime juice in there. What's left in this squeezing lime here, I'm going to throw in my drinking water because you can't get enough vitamin C from citrus, right? Always a great immune booster. All right, so we got some lime juice in there. Last but not least, big old flavor here. Get this out of the way. Is cilantro. Now, you either hate cilantro or love cilantro, right? It's a love-hate thing. There's really no gentle in-between feelings about cilantro. So if you don't like cilantro, then absolutely you can eat it. You don't like it, not a problem. This is where you can very easily adapt, and you can use parsley. You could use some fresh rosemary, thyme, different nice fresh green herbs. All work in here. Chef knife. It just follows me room to room, I swear. I'm just getting some big stems out of here. These little skinny stems all stay. They don't harm a thing. So just get the big stems out of the way. And the little skinny stems can stay behind. Cilantro has very tender, small stems. So you don't need to worry about those. You can slice them off. You can just kind of pull the leaves off like that. Not a problem at all. So just get the big stems off of there. We're going to do some just rough chopping here. To get it broke up a little bit, kind of release the flavors in it. Doesn't have to be fancy. You're not looking for like all finely minced. We're going to throw that in the bag with that chicken, garlic, lime juice, salt and pepper. This is just the greatest marinade. I'm always shocked by how much this flavors the chicken. Even if it just sits for like 15-20 minutes, I'm like, wow, that really did the job. You could also use lemon. If you don't have a lime, lemon would also work too. Another flavor combo, have lemon in here. You could put lemon and dill or lemon and basil. I mean, that would be another great way to marinate and flavor chicken before you put it on the grill. So you have some garlic in there. You just want to kind of mush this all around and get that flavor kind of spread out inside there. And get that mushed around onto the chicken breast so it's nicely coated and has a chance to really marinate well. There we go. There's a job for the kids. All right, we're just going to let that sit for a little bit. Now, I would definitely put that in the refrigerator. I'm going to be grilling this in the next 10 minutes, so I'm not going to, but this is going to sit for any length of time, more than 10 minutes. You need to put this in the refrigerator for food safety. So let's put that down below. Wipe off the cilantro from our board here. Get that out of the way. And now we need to put together our pesto that we put on the salad. I'm using a food processor for this. You could hand chop it. I recommend using at least like a bullet or something. Just makes it a whole lot easier. This is not your traditional pesto where it's like super smooth and oily and, you know, kind of like a paste. This is going to be kind of chunky and deconstructed. It's kind of a fun recipe I found on Smitten Kitchen. Smitten Kitchen's a really fun website if you like someone with a great sense of humor who has just really scrumptious, everyday kind of food. Really fun website. And she has cookbooks too. So on Smitten Kitchen, she recommends using Yukon Gold. I couldn't agree more. This is what I used. I cooked up these little tiny baby, oh, they're just like little ping pong ball sized little baby potatoes you can get in a bag in the produce or deli section. Excuse me. I also had some really lovely bunch of asparagus. I'm enjoying the asparagus season here in Wisconsin when spring and summer comes around. So if you don't like asparagus or don't have asparagus, you can use green beans. Same thing. Little baby Yukon Golds work fabulous. If you have red potatoes, feel free to dice those up as well. What I did ahead of time was I took these potatoes and I put them into cold water with a sprinkle of salt, and I brought them to a boil, and I cooked them where I could just poke the fork in them where they're not quite tender enough to eat, but they're just about done. Here's how you avoid dishes and having to have another pot of water and making another mess. You have your asparagus all cut up and ready to go, and you throw that cut up asparagus right into the boiling water and let it cook along with the potatoes for their last 3-4 minutes of cooking time, because that's all the asparagus needs. You want the asparagus just nicely crisp tender. You don't want it mushy, because asparagus that's mushy and soft is just gross. And with the asparagus, very easy tip, you want to clean it. When you bend it like that, the woody tough bottom end will snap right off. And what you're left with is the nice tender part. And that you can, after you wash it well, you can just dice up your asparagus like that and throw that diced asparagus right into the boiling water with the potatoes. Drain it all at once, let it cool, and there you go. You have your potatoes and asparagus, one pot, no extra dishes to do, and a real easy way to clean that. So that is our potato and asparagus mixture all ready to go. What we're going to do in here is we're going to make the chunky pesto, and this is where it gets interesting. We have basil and spinach. We have some pumpkin seeds. This is a basil, or excuse me, a pesto that works well if you have a nut allergy. This uses pumpkin seeds. In our house, we can't have nuts, so this was an exciting recipe for me to try because pumpkin seeds make an excellent, excellent, tasty pesto. Pesto can be made with all different kinds of herbs and nuts, by the way. It doesn't have to be always basil and pine nuts. I mean, it can go all over the place and veer from that. This recipe is a perfect example of that. Here's a really big, lush-looking basil plant from my little package here. My basil outside isn't quite ready to pick yet, but if you grow your own basil, practice making pesto because you will just love having the summertime glory of fresh basil. Now I'm just going to pick off any of these dirty stems or leaves here. And this is our fresh basil. This is going to get chopped up in the food processor, and I'm just going to kind of tear it up like that. I'm making a smaller batch here, by the way, too. I'm just going to make a little bit smaller amount. So there's our basil. Now that's only half the amount of basil. You want 2 packages like this. You for sure want 2 packages worth of basil. I only used 1. Now to stretch that, and this always works with pesto, is you can add a fistful of spinach, just raw salad spinach. You still get the basil flavor, but you stretch it. It's economical, it's nutritious. You can always throw that spinach in there to stretch your basil. Always works really great when you're doing a pesto. Now, we are going to have that in here, and we are also going to, of course, have garlic. And again, this will be less than what you see on your recipe, so I'm just going to do like 1 clove worth of garlic because I'm not doing the whole big batch. All right, we need just a little pinch of salt to start, and olive oil. You could also use avocado oil. Olive oil works pretty good in here. We're going to put a little drizzle. Okay, let's be honest, that was a big spoonful. And we're going to process this, not until it's like a smooth paste, but until it's like a chunky, gritty, kind of deconstructed pesto, if you will. Let's see what we got. We're going to probably have to scrape this down a little bit. I got my little baby bowl inside the big food processor here, so if you have a little baby food processor, that'll work just fine. So I have a little insert in this big monster processor, and it works really great. So at this point, I'm also going to throw in a handful of the pepitas or pumpkin seeds. in here. Now, there's some whole seeds, there's some half pieces of seed. That's the beauty of this. You want texture, you want some chunkiness. This is not a recipe where, well, you want this like really oily, like a big slick. You want this definitely to have some nice texture to it. I'm going to put just a dab more oil in here, because this is our entire sauce for the whole potato salad. We're not going to be adding a cup of mayonnaise or something. All right, that is it. It's that quick and easy. Let's get our food processor out of here. I'm going to pull this little bowl out of here. Get the blade out. Isn't that cool? It's like a little baby insert to put inside the big Papa processor here. It's a big one. This is a Breville. Breville is the brand name of this food processor. If you're a serious cook and you want one that you can like mix dough with and process quart jars of things, this is your guy. Otherwise, if you just do a little bit of cooking or processing, a little sauce here and there, I'd say get something smaller. Here we go. This is our lovely chunky deconstructed pesto, and here's how we're going to do this. We take our salad. Oh, we have a little basil leaf that escaped there. I have a minced up shallot. Now, shallots are those little baby lavender colored onions. It's an onion, family onion. But a shallot is mild, it's gentle, it's not as harsh as a raw onion, like a big white or red raw onion. It's a little more gentle, a little more subtle. It goes nice in a salad like this. So I'm going to put the shallot in. We have our processed mixture here. We're going to add this to the potatoes. All right, this is like our kind of deconstructed pesto here. And it's very green, very fresh with the spinach, with the basil. And we have some, not ground down to nothing, but kind of rough chopped pumpkin seeds in there. You could certainly use walnuts, almonds, I mean any of those things, traditional pine nuts. But just know that you can use other things other than just the same old pine nuts, which are like $18 a pound anyway. So if I can get away from not having to use those, I'm a happy camper. All right, fresh pepper. This is where you take a pesto potato salad, which has a very popular and true tendency to be bland. It gets like too flat and bland from all that basil and oil, and it tends to be almost bitter, or it's just missing something. This is what changes that all up. First of all, you're going to need to give this a good healthy sprinkle of salt. We're going to put some Parmesan in there because remember we were making a pesto and there's usually cheese in pesto. So you were keeping this vegan. There's some Violife is a great vegan Parmesan if you're avoiding dairy or lactose. So you can throw that in there. Here's what makes the salad come alive. I can't emphasize this enough. And this was really hard to do the first time I made this because I'm like, this seems like too much. You need, for sure, 1, more likely 2 tablespoons of acid. Red wine vinegar works perfectly. Cider vinegar would also work. Red wine vinegar, you need the acid to bring up the garlic and the heaviness of the oil, to cover the blandness of the potatoes. I can't emphasize it enough. It totally transforms this dish. Got to get that vinegar. It calls for that vinegar and you're like, that seems like that's going to be really sour. It isn't. It just perks it up and makes it just bright. Just like a squeeze of lemon on your fish at the end is like, whoa, that just brought it all around for me. That acid is so important, especially when you're dealing with a pesto-based thing like this. So that is this really, really delicious, fun, very different summer potato asparagus salad. Or like I said, you could cut up green beans. Dice up raw green beans. Throw those raw green beans in the water for the last 4 minutes or so of the potato cooking time. Same results. You can do green beans or do some of each. Nice, fun recipe to do. Even try some like purple potatoes or something in there. That's a nice addition. So you can put a little cheese on top. You can put just a touch more pumpkin seeds on top. Oh, I can't get enough pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds are super, super good for you. Very, very nutritious. All right, there you go. We have our lovely Green Machine salad. Now we need to get our stove heating up because we are going to cook that chicken. All right, we have burner. I have a cast iron pan with the grill mark stripes, a grilling pan. You could use a flat cast iron just as well. You could also pan fry these in just a regular skillet that you happen to have. That's okay too. Outside on the grill, best of all, but not always possible. So what we're going to do is put a little bit of oil in this dish. And all you want to do is just take a brush and just brush that pan a little bit, get some oil on there for our chicken so it doesn't stick tight. But best insurance is to get this pan nice and hot. Do not stick the chicken in here when it's sort of warm or it's just going to glue. And I always make sure my pan is well seasoned. If you don't know how to season a cast iron pan, there's a billion little videos out there on YouTube. You can look up how to properly clean it. And I actually just clean mine with kosher salt. A paper towel damp with kosher salt is how I scrub my pan clean. Rinse it with hot water, and then you need to wipe it with a little oil on a paper towel so it always has a thin smear, not oily mess, but just a little gleam of oil on it. And if you pop it in an oven for about a half hour, 45 minutes, and just kind of bake that finish back onto it, your cast iron pan won't rust. It'll stay nice and dry, and it'll have a non-stick finish. So be sure to just look that up if you're not sure how to clean and use a cast iron pan. It's a great, great old-fashioned cooking method that's come back around because you aren't eating any Teflon chemicals, and it puts iron into your food actually. And the only downside, it's heavy, right? I have kind of a carpal tunnel thing going on now, so using cast iron can get rather difficult because it just is heavy. But that's the only downside. You can also campfire cook with cast iron, of course, right? That's always kind of fun. So once this is nice and smoking hot, we are going to be putting our chicken on here. Chicken loves the hot frying pan. We're also going to have a thermometer handy because chicken should be cooked to 165. You absolutely shouldn't be even dreaming of medium rare chicken. Nobody ever said that they want a medium rare chicken. Not safe. You want to make sure your chicken is cooked thoroughly. So we're going to make sure that gets done when we have our chicken here and that it is safely cooked. So this is heating up nicely. We are going to work on putting together our salsa. I have diced up fresh strawberries here. Can't beat local summer strawberries. Diced up strawberry, and that is what we're using instead of a diced up tomato. They're kind of acidic, they're juicy, they're red, they make a great salsa, and it's a nice switch from tomato. Certainly could do this with tomatoes, but hey, it's kind of fun to do something different. We're going to use strawberries for the salad. We're also going to be using some chopped red onion. You could also use green onion or scallions if you prefer. Some cut up cucumber. Season it with lime juice once again. And we're going to add diced avocado. Now I think our chicken pan here is about ready. Here's our marinating chicken from before. Oh yeah, I hear a sizzle. I'm going to scrape some of that cilantro off because I don't need to definitely just grill a bunch of green leaves here. And here we go. Marinated chicken about to go on. All right, we have definitely a nice contact with the pan there. You want to make sure the chicken has a good solid contact with the pan. And when you're searing or grilling anything, you don't want to be picking it up every 2 minutes to look at it. It's sticking. What's wrong? You let it get a good sear on the bottom, and then it should release from the pan. So we're going to let this have a few minutes to do its thing before we flip it. This will give us nice grill marks. I'm looking forward to that. And we have a bowl. We're going to start with our chopped up strawberries. Just coarsely chop them or thinly slice them would work. We have our start to something wonderful here. We have chopped red onion, that's going in. We have English cucumber. If it's summer, get a fresh garden cucumber. You just absolutely can't go wrong with a fresh garden cucumber. In winter, or when I don't, any other time of year, I don't have fresh local summer cucumbers. I buy the English cucumbers wrapped in plastic just because they really have a nice tenderness to them, no big seeds, no bitter waxed skin. You can eat the skin on these. It's very tender and thin. So definitely, I recommend the English wrapped cucumbers if you can't find nice local summer cucumbers. So, cut them into sticks the long way, and then stack them up like a pile of logs and cut them crosswise. Stove, you're getting in my way here. And dice up the cucumber. And that is going in here. Oh my goodness, I'm making so much salsa. I think that's a good intentional problem because this is awesome with chips. I could just snarf this big bowl of this down with chips. You can even serve this with like cooked shrimp, would be fun too. So we have our red onion, cucumber, and strawberry. What makes this really rich and decadent is some diced avocado. Take your paring knife, rock around the avocado against the pit like that. Woo, lucky, and a small little pit too. How fun is that? Yep, needs a little more time yet. Want that to have good contact with the pan on the bottom. All right, we have just a perfect avocado here. Get a spoon underneath there and scoop that avocado up. Now this one happens to have some brown, scuzzy looking stuff on it here. The avocado is fine. It's just like the skin of the avocado or the rind on the outside just kind of gave off like a brown coloring there. Not sure why. Sometimes they do that. The avocado itself is in great shape. Get rid of any of that brown stuff there. Alright, and then we want to dice up our avocado. That is one brown cucumber, avocado skin, holy cow. We're going to dice up the avocado. You can cut it one more time that way if you like, so it's a nice small dice. What I'm going to do to make sure that avocado tends to brown up right away, right? Get another avocado saved from browning by adding fresh lime juice on. I'm going to squeeze it right in there and then squeeze the rest into our salsa because that is a wonderful flavoring. It just helps kind of balance the sweetness of the strawberry. I'm going to use my bench scraper, scrape up that avocado. That's going right in there. If you want to use the other half of the avocado, go right ahead. What do we got here? Ooh, let's flip our chicken. Yum. I don't even mind that my living room is filling with chicken smell right now. I wish you could smell and taste this as well. Nothing like grilled chicken. Put that on the plate here. So our chicken is grilling away. Now, I want to just point out, if you haven't seen me do this on videos, people want to take the knife and whack the pit on the avocado and it slips off into the palm of their hand. I've never seen that be a happy ending to anybody's dinner. So to avoid that, go around the avocado in fourths like that. In other words, cut it one more time and give yourself the luxury of, well, now you can just take that pit right out and you don't have to end up with avocado that is going to cause you stitches. So I'm leaving a little on there because I don't want to get all that brown stuff on the skin again. And I'll dice that up. And a little squeeze of lime on there just to help keep it from browning. Rest in the bowl. And that is going in our salad. I'd rather be on the deck drinking a margarita doing this on a nice Weber grill or something, but it's nice to know you can grill indoors just sweetly. And I do have my smoke alarm turned off right now. I'll put it right back on after this video because I know little bird told me that if you don't, the smoke alarm will go off. So we have a very bright, beautiful salad of luscious summer flavors as a salsa to use on top. Now, because like I said, I love cilantro. If you do not, you won't be using cilantro. You could use parsley in here. You could throw in some chives. Just try to throw something green and fresh in here if you're not a cilantro person. And those little skinny stems, like I said, don't harm you in any way in cilantro. They're it's very typical to have little thin stems. And I'm going to tempt this chicken. I really pounded this chicken thin and it's kind of thready and tearing apart. I think I pounded it just a little too thin. I'm just making sure that thickest part, you know the thin part's done, but go to the thickest part and make sure that that is 165. And I'm going to turn off my pan just because I know it's still going to have carryover heat for quite a while. But we're just about at that point. We're real close to being done there on that thick part. Get some cilantro chopped up to add to this salsa. It just makes it absolutely wonderful. And again, you're not looking for like microscopic crumbs here. We're not doing a culinary test. You just want to kind of rough chop, throw it in your salad. And this is your lovely, lovely salsa to go on top of your chicken. How do you season this? A little sprinkle of salt. If you like heat, definitely add a minced jalapeno. You want some heat, most normal people do. I can't handle hot peppers at all, just can't eat them. So I am not doing any heat in here, but a minced jalapeno would of course be absolutely perfect. If you like a lot of heat, 5-alarm fire, well then throw habanero or ghost pepper, or you're into all those million Scoville unit kind of peppers, go for it. Just let everybody else in the room know that you put those in there before you get some very justifiably upset, angry people. All right, we have really fun salsa to go on top of this chicken. I'm going to put a scoop of salad on here because this is going to be my lunch. All right, we got our salad from before. Let's get our chicken breast off the pan grill here. Ooh, smoky grill marks. So good. You could cut this up or let the chicken sit for about 5 minutes and let the juices go back into the meat before you start slicing it. If you slice meat right off the grill and it's burning hot, the juice is all going to run out of your steak or your burger or chicken, whatever it may be. So let it sit for a few minutes, but after it's had a few minutes to sit, you can go ahead and slice that into slices if you prefer. But either way, we are putting beautiful, luscious salsa on there. That is just mucho wonderful, delicious, delicious summer meal. Dinner on the deck. Beautiful salsa on your chicken breast and a nice, easy, deconstructed pesto, potato, asparagus salad. So there you go, a lovely summer dinner. You can riff on all different ways and make adjustments and adapt it to your favorite tastes. So thank you for joining me. It's getting a little smoky in here. This is Indoor Grilling 101, preferably outdoor grilling, for Dinner on the Deck with Healthy Chef Shell, Chef Shelly Platten. Thank you, Appleton School District. Enjoy your summer. I'll be back with more cooking videos. So thank you, eat well, and be well.